Hello students, welcome back. So in the last class we have discussed about Heisenberg uncertainty principle, which states that the exact position and momentum of the electron cannot be determined simultaneously with accuracy, and we have seen its limitation also, that it's applicable only to the microscopic particles, so it is not having any significance in our day-to-day life. So today we'll start with the next topic, new topic, that is atomic orbitals and quantum numbers. Okay, so till now you have seen what is the meaning of orbit. You don't know what is orbital basically. Fine, so first we'll see difference between orbit and orbital. Fine, orbit you know, so we'll see the orbital. What is the main difference between the two? Fine, so orbit you know, it's a circular path in which the electron revolves. Yes, orbit is what? First point is, it is the circular path in which the electron revolves. Fine. And orbital is the region in space around the nucleus. Fine. Orbital is what? It's a region in space around the nucleus where the probability of finding the electron is maximum. It means, suppose if we want to search electron, where it is actually located in the atom, so we will search that it is present in the orbital of the atom. Okay, not in the orbit, because in the orbital it is just moving in its circular motion. So orbital, it is the region in space around the nucleus where the probability of finding the electron is maximum. You can say 90 to 95% is there. Fine. Like we know that these are the different orbits. If this is the atom nucleus, these are the different orbits in which electron moves. So, what is the orbital? Orbital is simple. This is, let's say this represents spherical picture of the orbital. It is a region in space around the nucleus, this space, where the probability of finding the electron is maximum. So this is the spherical picture of the orbital. Okay, where this dotted portion represents this dotting portion represents what? It represents electron density. That this is the electron which is present, this is distributed. So where you will find more dot. This more dotted region represents more electron density. It means you can say that electron we will find here where the more dotting is there. So this is the meaning of dotting. Okay, and this is the electron cloud picture. What is this? Electron cloud picture of the orbital or atom, you can say. Picture of orbital where the electron resides. Fine. So this is the main definition that we have seen. It's a circular path in which the electron revolves, and it is a region in space around the nucleus where the probability of finding the electron is maximum. Now we'll see the more differences. Okay. So let's see. Second point of difference. Second, you can say it represents the movement of the electron in nucleus. It represents the movement of electrons in the nucleus in a plane. Okay. It represents three-dimensional movement. Three-dimensional movement of the electron. Okay. So we'll see. Okay. So let's see the third point. Third point is regarding that its shape. That all the orbitals we know they are circular. All the orbits are circular. But orbitals are of different shape. Okay, we'll see later on they are of different shapes. Next point of difference is that orbits do not have directional character. It means directional character. Why they are not having any directional character? Directional character means that they are not having particular direction in which they are pointing. Because these are simply orbits which are circular in shape, so there is no direction. Fine. But in orbitals except s orbital, all other orbitals have directional character. Fine. So this is the point of that difference of direction. We'll see the next point of difference. Last point of difference is related to the number of electrons that can be accommodated. Okay. So in orbits, this is the fifth point, the maximum number of electrons. The maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in an orbit is given by the formula, you know, 2n square. But an orbital can accommodate only 2 electrons. This is the maximum, only 2. Fine, one orbital contains 2 electrons. Suppose if orbital is like box, so it contains only 2 electrons. This will learn how. Fine, in orbit, so we know that if this is the k orbit or l orbit, then it can consist of more than 2 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes? 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 electron you just show. Okay, so this is these are the points of differences between the orbit and the orbital. Now we'll take this concept and then we'll define quantum numbers. What are these numbers basically? So let's see. That's why the topic is interlinked. So let's talk about quantum numbers. Now quantum numbers will give you the characteristics, or you can say the properties of the electron. You will come to know where actually electron resides. Where if you want to find the electron, then where you will get the electron. Suppose if I'll ask you that about your address, that where do you stay, so you will be able to tell. Similarly, these numbers, they will tell the address of the electron in the atom. So we'll see. So quantum numbers, these are the numbers which represents the address of the electron okay, quantum numbers, these represents the complete address of the electron in an atom. Okay, these represents the complete address of the electron in an atom. Like, they determine its size, then shape, energy, orientation, and spin of electrons. Fine. So there are 4 types of quantum numbers. 4 types. As you will see one by one. First is principal quantum number. It is represented by small n. Then azimuthal quantum number, represented by small l. Then magnetic quantum number, represented by m and small l. And then spin quantum number, represented by m and then s. So we'll see one by one who has introduced this number, who has given, what is the use of this particular number. So what are these numbers? Basically, quantum numbers are defined as the numbers which you can say represents or which determines the complete address of the electron in an atom, like size, shape, energy, then orientation and spin of electrons. Suppose if I'll ask you that where do you stay, that in which country you stay, your answer will be then India. So it's like that, that electron resides at, what is the energy, what is the size, you can say size of the, or what is the main shell of the electron. So that is principal quantum number. Then I ask you that in India where do you stay, then your answer will be Delhi. Then that represents azimuthal quantum number. Then I'll say in Delhi where do you stay, then your answer will be particular, you can say that place will come, like you can say Mukherjee Nagar or any other. Then represents magnetic quantum number. Then in Mukherjee Nagar where do you stay, then your particular address, that your home address will come. So that represents spin quantum number. So it's like that, it's a complete address of the electron. You will be able to find the electron, that yes, this is the complete information about the electron. So let's start one by one. Let's find out the address of the electron, where electron resides or where it stays. Fine. So let's, first is principal quantum number. Principal quantum number. As the name is principal, we know principal of the school, it's the head. So this number is the head of the electron, head quantum number, represented by small n. So this is, you can say, it's given by Bohr. Because Bohr has given the formula for the calculation of energy of the hydrogen atom and like species. Then it represents the main energy shell. Energy shell. Then it also represents the distance of the electron from the center of the nucleus, that is average distance. Okay, average distance. So basically it represents a main energy shell, and with the help of this we can also determine the energy of the hydrogen or hydrogen-like species, hydrogen, or you can say hydrogen-like species like lithium positive, etc. Formula that you have studied, 2 pi square m e raised to the power 4 z square n square h square. Fine. This is the formula which we have already seen. So with the help of this we can also calculate the energy. So here n represents the principal quantum number, that is the main energy shell. So the energy shells, they are given by that we already know energy shells, 4 energy shells, and energy shells are given by, that is K, L, M, N. These are the main energy shells and so on. So if N is equal to 1, this represents K. N is equal to 2, this represents L. N is equal to 3, this represents M. N is equal to 4, this represents N. N is equal to 5, this represents after that K, L, M, N, O. Like this. The shells will be there. Okay, the thing is that whether they exist or not, but we, according to, you can say the chemistry, that according to the concept, there are infinite number of shells. Although they are having higher energy, electron does not exist over there, but still they exist. Okay, but you can say they are vacant. Okay, so this is the energy shells are given by. Now we'll see the electrons, that also we know maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in a particular shell is given by what? Number of electrons present in the shell given by the formula, that is 2n square, where n represents principal quantum number. For example, n is equal to 1 for K. So what is the electrons? 2 into 1, so 2 electrons are present. If n is equal to 2, L, 2, you will substitute 2 to the power 2, 2 to the 4 to the 8 electrons. Then n is equal to 3, M shell, 2 into 2 to the power 3, 8 to the 16 electrons. Then n is equal to 4, N, 2 into 2 to the power 4, 2 to the 4 to the 8 to the 16 to the 32 electrons. So, in this way, you can say it will be distributed. So, we'll see the next one then. Fine. So, this is the principal quantum number, which mainly represents the energy of the electron. Okay, average distance and the energy of the electron, and it also represents the main shell of the electron, main energy level. Fine. So like this is the first energy level, then second, third, fourth, like this. So basically it will provide you main energy shell, that in which electron is present. Now these energy shells further they will contain subshells, we'll see. So let's move towards the next quantum number, azimuthal quantum number. So all they are interlinked, as your address is linked, so all these numbers are interlinked. So second is azimuthal quantum number, represented by small l, also known as angular momentum quantum number. Fine. So let's see. So basically, you can say the electrons which are having the same value of principal quantum number. Electrons having same value of n. Okay, you can say electrons having same value of n. They do not have same energy. Do not have same energy. Fine. So based on the energy shells, they further subdivided into subshells. So that subshells are given by azimuthal quantum number. So we'll see the subshells which are present inside the shells. Okay, so let's see. Subshells contains 4 types of subshells are there based on the value of L. 4 subshells based on the L value. Okay, so L is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. So this represents S subshell, this represents P, this represents D, this represents F. If it is 4, then represents G and so on. Fine. So this is S subshell. Okay, so this depends on the value of L. So one subshell, then again L, then for 3 this is F, for next this is G, then for 5 it is H, like this. Okay. So for a particular value of N, the value of L is given by the formula that you will come to know. For this particular value of N, this contains this number of subshells. So you can say that for a particular value of N, the value of L is given by 2L plus 1. Sorry, not, this is for magnetic quantum. It's given by 0 to n minus 1. Okay. 0 to n minus 1. So this is the range basically. So we can calculate, this is a formula of L for a particular value of n. And this quantum number is given by the Sommerfeld. Okay, Sommerfeld, who has studied about the spectral lines. Sommerfeld. Okay, so let's say if n is equal to 1, then what is the value of L? So L is 0, 2. So 0 you have to include. So 1 is 0, then n minus 1. 1 minus 1, 0. So only 1 is possible. It means this is S subshell. If n is equal to 2, then L is equal to what? Substitute here. 0 is possible. N minus 1. That is 2 minus 1, 1. So 2 subshell. It means S and P both are possible. If n is equal to 3, L is equal to what? Just check it out. 3 minus 1, 2. It means 0, 1, 2. 3 are possible. S, P and D, all 3. If n is equal to 4, so L is equal to 0, 4 minus 1, 3. It means 0 to 3, all. So 0, then 1, 2, 3. So S, P, D, F, all are possible. Okay, so what's the meaning of this S, P, D and F? It means these are the subshells which are present. So here 1 subshell, here 2, here 3, here 4. So it depends upon the value of n. See, n is equal to 1, 1 subshell 2, 2 subshell 3, 3 subshell 4, 4 subshell, like this. Okay, so let's see the meaning of this, from where this S, P, D and F has come. Basically this has come from the spectroscopy, from spectral studies. Okay, S, P, D and F. This has come from the study of spectroscopy. That is not in your syllabus, but you should know from where it has, spectroscopy, from where it has come. S means, then P, then D, then F. Okay, so S is sharp, P means principal, D means diffused, and F is fundamental. So these are the subshells. Fine. And how the electrons, you can say, will be filled in these subshells, because these subshells are present within the shell. Their main head, like if I am saying n is equal to 1, so L is what? 0. So L represents the principal quantum number, main shell. And under the main shell, where it is present in the S subshell, electron. Okay. So how the electrons are filled, they just filled, except hydrogen, they just filled in this order. S, P, D and F. This is the main order in which the electrons are filled. Basically this order is related to the attraction part. It's not related to the energy part. Okay, so I'll write the another order also which is related to the energy part. It's subshells which differ in the subshells which differ in their energies and follows the order. Okay, subshells which differ in energies follows the order, this one, which is having more energy, S, P, D and F. This is the order followed by the subshell. Okay. Fine. So this is the order we have to follow. This is except hydrogen. Then you can say the value of L. If I write here value of N, then value of L, number of subshell and name of subshell. You can make this table, which we have already seen, but you just tabulate. N is equal to 1. This is 0, 2, 0, 1, 3, 0, 1, 2, 4, 0, 1, 2 and 3. Fine. So 1, 0, it means number of subshell is 1, that is 0 it is possible, here 2, here 3, here 4. Now what are the names of the subshell? Here 0 is for S, so 1S is possible. 0, so 2S, 2P. These are the subshells. Principal quantum number is 2 and 2 subshells are possible, S and P both. Here 3S, 3P, 3D. 3 are possible. Here 4. 4S, 4P, 4D, 4F. All these are possible. Okay. So this is about the azimuthal quantum number, which represents the subshell. And this is also, you can say, gives the angular momentum of the electron. Fine. That is, you know what is angular momentum, we have seen through the Bohr model. So L, this is represented by L. This is represents angular momentum, given by the formula L plus 1, H by 2 pi, where L represents azimuthal quantum number. So this is the formula. You can substitute the value of L is 0. What is the value of L? L is 0, then 0 plus 1. It's only H by 2 pi. If L is equal to 1, L is what? 1, 1 plus 1, 2. So 2, H by 2 pi, that is simple H by pi. Like this. This is under root of this. Okay, so under root, that is 1, 0. So 1 only you can say under root 1, H by 2 pi, 1 plus 1, 2. So under root 2, H by 2 pi and so on. So this gives the value of the angular momentum as well. Okay, and here we are writing 1, and you will substitute here because it is multiplication with 0. So here nothing will come. So this will give you 0 only. 0 multiplied by 0, it will give you 0. Fine. Then next is the under root H by 2 pi, and then it will continue for the next orbital. So this is for which orbital? This is for S orbital. This is for P orbital. So basically these orbital represents, subshells represents orbitals only. Subshells represent orbitals, as shells represent orbits. Okay, this is the difference. This you just note it down. So that's why S orbital, P orbital, they are having different shapes. We'll see that part later on. Fine. So we have covered 2 quantum numbers. One is giving the energy of the electron, and the second, this is giving the shape of the electron. Why shape? Shape of the orbital basically, because it is telling you this is S orbital, electron is in the S orbital, P orbital. That's why they are having different shapes. So that shapes we'll see later on. Fine. So what we can conclude from here with these 2 quantum numbers? Okay, but we can conclude that conclusion, N represents size of the orbital and L represents shape of the orbital. Okay, so this you just conclude here. Fine. So I hope it's clear to everyone what are these two are quantum numbers. Next two we'll see in the next class, along with the questions, how to do the questions based on that. Fine. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.